This place is rather gloomy.
Why don't you lighten the mood for us while we're here, then?
Get lost! I can carve through armor! Not in your dreams! Far enough! It's a duel of the hours! Glacial, I never miss!
Further! The airborne scoundrel strong!
Sounds like a job for you, truly!
Be my guest!
Here!
I'm on it! I'm on it! Burn in hell! Burn! Can you take it?
Watch this!
Penumbra! Eagle Ray!
Alright, we're coming through!
Roll away!
Leave the enemy's arms to me!
Charging up!
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Good! Begin! I'll leave it to you!
I'm on it! Ready and ready! Now you see what I can do!
Do it! I don't know why.
Hey!
Blow them away!
How's that?
Acceptable.
I'm on the ground! Coming Eagle Ray!
Rising Falcon! I'm ready!
Hikara! I'll stop your movement! And I'll stop your life! Lightning!
My turn! No shot!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
You're mine! Strike!
Down on the ground!
In a bind! Earth to be let finish it! Look sharp! Lightning!
Guess we don't know our own strength.
You could say... That again.
My face is starting to sting. My throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
want some...
Let's see what
Coming
got. Now you see what I can do.
Elusive deity.
Super swallow.
Watch it.
Rending you up.
You have to aim for the bright area on their back.
Oh. Now you're talking. Hit a word.
Severing
I'll finish you here and now.
Do it! Come on! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Here I go.
I'll smash you!
Go.
Rising thrust!
Not on my watch.
Rising falcon!
They're hiding thick as armor.
You're mine!
Shattering
Swordling Alpha!
Attack time. In a
Got
bind.
fire!
I've got
I'm
one
ready.
little marksman.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
I'll finish you here and now.
Rising falcon!
Bloody howling.
Resonate with
Where
the
are you
earth!
going?
Take this!
Stalagmite.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Severing wings!
I'll stop your movement. And I'll stop your life.
Now!
Flame of fury.
Dragon Swarm!
Dragon shield.
Here's the
Blow
evil.
away!
Do it.
Severing wings!
Go away. Hey.
Blow them away!
Looks like it could be worth something. That enemy looks strong. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Ignite!
Deny. I'll smash you. Anything in armor is all mine. Are those rocks that skin?
Let's go!
Glacial Heart.
Now!
Ringworm.
Frozen!
Hammer.
Nicely done!
All thanks to you.
Rising Wyvern!
You want me?
Spear!
Come get me. Sadistic descent.
An astral art?
That's my cue!
I'll stop you.
Shut him down!
Thanks, Kisara!
Far enough.
Take
Illuminate
this!
the dark!
No escape!
Holy river! Holy river! Let me help!
I'm gone.
Can't get out of this!
First aid! The waters of creation! Lunar dance, immortal droplets! I'll
Here
heal
I
you
come!
all! Sealed!
Dragon
Don't
Swarm!
mind if I do! If it's in the sky, it's
Burn
mine!
in hell!
Healing circle!
Thanks.
Take this! Severing wings! I owe you one.
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The waters
Now!
of creation!
You're mine!
This
Swarm!
This one's mine!
Hurricane strike.
Lunar corruption!
One more.
Lightning!
Dragon Swarm!
Armor won't save you.
Double Demon Fang!
Field! It's slow! Get on in there
Demon
with the
Fang!
others! I'll preempt impact!
Here I go. Let's go.
You're
You require help.
Here!
In a bind.
Double Demon Fang!
Radiant dopamine!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Looks like we came out on top.
We just need to make sure we stay there.
Right. And without totally overdoing it. This will be a delicious piece of cake.
Double Demon Fang! Thanks! Demon Fang!
Confiscated.
Not today!
If it cools up, time to get out of the way.
Double Demon Fang!
Tunnel! Photon now!
No armor.
Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory.
Naturally.
Lunar corruption!
Shattering the
Gemini!
Time to let it rip! Double Demon
I
Fang!
can carve through armor.
Demon Fang!
Here goes!
Glacial Fang. Make it rain.
Kitara frozen!
Hammer.
Next time, do you think we could add some more flames into the mix?
Huh? It's not that easy to adjust, you know.
No choice! Vacuum Blade!
Oh, back in there to finish it.
Fang!
Glad you have your
It's on!
I'll show you how useful I can be. Bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Eat dirt!
Glacial Fire. Sadistic descent.
Alvin! Astral energy!
Say no more! That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
That's far enough. Look sharp.
Rising Reaper!
Here.
Raging Storm! Lunar corruption!
Swallow Blade!
Lunar blast! Hold on to your arms. Here I come! Raging... Lunar corruption!
Blind spree.
Far
Why can't they just sit still?
Sierra, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Make it rain.
We managed to turn the tide.
For now, but things could shift
We'll
at a
soon
moment's
see about
notice.
that. You're right. Better stay alert. Let's go! One at a time.
By the power of water.
There now. One more.
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis.
Come and face me!
Tornado
Alpha!
There, one more. Ready and rare. Lunar Arc. Gemini Aqua. Inferno Trumpet. I'm going.
Here goes.
Is it in the sky?
Blazing Fire.
This one's mine. Make it rain.
Alvin. Astral energy.
Say no more!
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work. Come one, come all!
Here goes. Not in your dreams.
Got me.
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop. Take cover when it calls up.
Not today!
The waters of creation. Dance, immortal droplets.
Glacial Fire.
In here.
Dragon Form!
Get on in there with the others.
Grind and
Now
melt.
something special.
I never miss. Let them mark.
The waters of creation.
Here.
I never miss. Immortal droplets.
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over.
Magic is in.
Who said anything about letting off?
Here I come. Light astral energy. Into the magic is in. Burning strike. You get the gist. Burning strike. Blah blah blah. Holy land. Light astral
This
energy.
one's mine!
Photon.
Anything in armor is all mine. Can't get out of this.
Annihilation. And you get the
Finish
gist.
it!
Dohaline.
Light Burst Force!
Radiant Genesis.
Will this help?
Demon Fang!
The waters of creation.
Now you see what I can do.
Demon Fang! Now I can let loose!
Rising
Wyvern!
Tidal wave.
You're on!
Here
Dragon
goes.
Swarm! Finish
Light
it!
Axe Law. Demon's Descent.
Flashing Fang.
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. Barely worked up a sweat.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Annihilation! By the power of water! Get behind me! Come on!
You come, I
Hold
do.
on.
Annihilation!
We're going in! Aim for the weak point!
I can do this all day!
This one's lightning strike! Where are you going? Sadistic sustain!
Lunar corruption!
Lightning
Lunar
strike!
blast! Blah, 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 that's it!
Take this!
Can't get out of this!
This'll come in handy!
Here, let me help!
I'll smash you!
Far enough!
Now!
Glacial
Astral energy! Full throttle! What's the secret to being as strong as you?
sharp!
You're pretty fierce on your own.
Well, maybe. But I've still got a ways to go. I thought you more defensively minded.
Defense via threat elimination.
So the best defense is a good
Inferno
offense.
crossing! Going in!
Photon
Inferno! Crossing!
Lunar correction!
Ready and raring!
Field! Spread! Get you off
Water! Hear my...
I'll smash you!
Spread! Wind astral energy!
Hurricane strike!
It's just
Make your way! Springwell!
frozen!
Hammer!
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Sharp!
Now we're not...
On guard! Anything...
No further!
Far enough!
Here's evil! Eat first!
Glacial fire! Where are you going? Inferno crossing! Gemini off!
Dragon form! Now!
Hurricane!
Here's the healing arc!
Look sharp!
Time to let it ring!
The waters
Not
of
today!
creation going in!
Spread! Dance immortal
Hurricane!
dropping!
Water! Hear my...
Front!
Spread!
Raining
Light
blast!
astral energy! We managed to turn the tide!
For now.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Alpin! Astral energy!
Say no more! Got
Here's a
Well
healing
done!
arc!
Hurricane strike!
Now I can let loose!
Where are you going?
Here I come!
The waters of creation!
I can carve through armor!
Rising Wyvern!
Take this!
Lunar corruption!
Demon Tank!
Lunar wave! Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer!
Sometimes I wonder where you come up with those moves.
I could say the same to you.
Good thing we're on the same side, huh? This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny.
Go no further!
Glacial
Far
spear!
enough! Here's the evil! In here! Freeze laser!
Rising Wyvern!
The waters of creation!
Inferno crossing!
Hurrah!
Into the... Photon blast!
Damn it!
What's in the sky is mine!
Tempest
This
Force!
one's mine!
Dragon Swarm! Burn!
Not on my watch!
No further!
Will this help? Hurricane strike!
Great.
Dance in the wind!
You're
In
mine!
here!
Wind thistle!
I owe you, Theon. Healing is what my art do best.
Carve through armor!
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Rising falcon! Dragon swarm!
This one is mine!
Celestial Razor Cyclone!
Burn in hell!
Hurricane strike!
You're mine! No escape!
By the power of water!
Wind
Glacial fire! Water,
Demon
hear
Fang!
my call!
Demon Fang!
Anything in armor is all mine!
I'll smash you!
This one is mine!
Healing!
Water, hear my call! Appreciate the help! Take this!
I have no limits!
Lunar corruption!
In here!
This one's mine!
Witness it! Lightning! In an instant! Impact block!
Here, let me help!
Oh,
First aid! I'll never miss!
Double demon!
Crossblade! Is every shield you own that big?
Here, you want to try holding it?
Ugh. How do you even walk with this thing?
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Not in your dreams!
Here I come! I can carve through armor!
Thunder field!
Raining flash!
Lunar corruption!
Demon Fang!
Illuminate the storm!
This one's mine!
Here I come! Heat point! Dragon swarm!
Hold on to your
Double
now!
demon fang! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Not a chance!
Dance in the wind!
Rising falcon!
The waters of
Severing wind!
I'm all
Thrust!
set!
Oh, there! Will this help? Right here! I got you!
Burn!
Healing cycle!
Here I go! Be still!
Still! Your art!
Not in your dreams!
No more playing nice! Fair enough!
What would we ever do without you, Kisara?
You've got a whole team to rely on.
Yeah, well, maybe apart from one individual.
I thought you more defensively minded. Defense via threat elimination. So the best defense is a good offense.
Demon fang!
Glacial fire!
Spread!
Sword rain alpha!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Annihilation!
Now! Frozen!
Hammer! Am I on a roll or what? Go no further!
I can carve through armor! Demon fang!
In here!
Glacial fire!
Freeze lamp!
Sword rain alpha!
Inferno crossing! Glacial field! Go for the weak point!
In here!
No
Freeze
escape!
laser! Let's get you all tucked away!
Dance!
Lightning condensed! Thunder
Wind!
blade! Now for the
Take
that
this!
healing circle! Illuminate the dark!
Eat you! Thanks!
Far enough!
Hear my call! Holy
Dragon
red!
swarm!
Thanks, Shion.
Double demon fang!
Inferno crossing!
You! Raining slash! Take this!
Freeze lamp! Blah, blah, blah!
Blade!
Holy lamp! Blah,
Rising
blah, blah!
viper!
Going in! I'm here!
Strike!
Sorry!
Come on!
Hurricane
You
swarm!
too! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Take
Here!
it! Dr.
Demon
Urban!
fang!
Mega Ray!
Double demon wind!
Photon!
Make it rain!
Xion! Astral energy! Full throttle!
That worked like a dream.
I pity anyone who stands in our way.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be... too different for you to handle.
We've reached our destination.
What should...
It feels kinda surreal to make
Make sure to get some good rest.
Hootle and I couldn't eat another bite.
Keep feeding him like that. He'll be too heavy to fly soon. Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
We finally made it.
Seriously? Is it... It's a joke?
Eat dirt! Raging storm! I never miss! I'm expert coming through!
I'm done. I won't fight just for the sake of it. Seriously? Is this a joke? This one's mine!
Lunar corruption!
Swordling Alpha!
By the power of Supernova! Let's go! Do it, Law! Demons descend!
Flashing Fang! Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still? Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
In Astral Arts?
That's my cue! Hear my call!
Shut him down!
Blood! Torn up! In here! Dread!
Finish it!
Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Hit! Naturally! Blood! Here goes!
Glacial Spear.
Here's
The waters of creation.
Lancer! Dance in mortal droplet!
Going in.
It's over! Magic
Going in.
Xion! Astral energy! Full throttle! I've never seen so many bullseyes!
I couldn't have done it without you.
Guess I misread the landing.
They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Lidwell.
I'm not scared! I'm totally fine!
No chance! You're open! Water, hear my call!
You picked the wrong fight!
Red! Seal!
Sadistic descent! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare to Malika! Ha!
All back in their defense!
Glad you had your uses!
Sadistic
I'll show you how useful I can be!
This one's mine!
Lightning Condemn!
Lightning strike!
Photon Circle!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the place?
I really don't.
Blah blah blah! Holy water! Astral energy!
Water, hear my call!
Spread!
Water, hear my call!
Raging Cascade!
Time to let it rip! You're mine!
Spread! Illuminate Magic Exam!
This one's mine!
Holy Lamp! You get the gist.
Demon
Here's
Pact!
the healing art! Sweet dreams! Birthday!
You fight better at it.
Coming through!
This one's mine!
Your arts are really incredible.
It's thanks to you I can use them.
Then I promise I'll always please you.
Here I come!
Ice Prison!
Rising Falcon!
Celestial
Spear!
Here's the Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it! Here I come! Dragon Form!
Raging Storm!
Wind!
Hold up! Is this his back?
An opponent like this should be easy.
What if I do? Gemini Alpha!
Dragon Form!
Lightning Condemn! Thunder Blast!
No escape!
Illuminate the top! Magic is go for the weak point!
It's almost too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Water, now you've got it! Ticked me off! This one's mine!
Leave the enemy!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare to Malika!
You are in tip-top shape!
Soon comes right here. Come help out.
Going to go everything now.
How impressive as always.
Now, go in! Astral energy! Full throttle!
A flawless victory.
This one...
Naturally.
Struck! Rising Falcon!
Let it fall!
Dragon Form! Not today!
Water, going in!
Wind!
The water here! Charge!
Rising Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
We're in good form!
I won't forgive you!
No armor can stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side. Let's cut our losses.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana...
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. This one's tough. But we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone! Ardex!
Suddenly turning tails doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared!
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it!
Arts require complete focus!
Not today!
Raging engage!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Dance in
Get
mortal
behind me!
power!
Denied!
I'll leave it to you!
Magic is in!
Nice work!
Still! You're off!
This one's mine! You get the gist. Holy land! The waters of creation!
Now you see what I can do!
Healing
No
sword!
further! Here I come!
Black and
I'm not done! There! Severing wind! Take this! Ready?
Here I go! Blaze of fire! Water! Here I go!
Not on my watch!
Now you see what I can do! Ignite!
Lunar corruption!
Rising Wyvern!
Illuminate blood! Holy land!
Look sharp! Glacial! Their arts were interrupted!
Healing art! Dance in the wind! First aid!
You require a hand.
The water of creation!
Take
it!
Take this!
Lunar blast!
Severing wind!
All stopped up! Sealed! Annihilate! Get on in there with the others!
I could do without this pain.
Far enough! Where are you going?
Wind astral
How
Arc
you like
here!
being pounded into shape?
Alright, it's showtime!
Guess I had to use it
Thunder
sometime.
blade! Illuminate!
Holy Land! On guard!
I'll heal you all!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Here's a healing arc!
Going in!
First aid!
Finish it!
Sion, Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Go!
A flawless victory! Naturally!
Strike! Take it! Stardust! Soaring Light Spear!
Raging Storm! A banana! Let's go!
Let's take this!
New leaf on life!
Rising
Take
Wyvern!
this!
Soaring Light Spear!
Can't get out of this!
Mirage!
Armor won't save you!
Demon Tooth!
Electric Shock!
Time to shine!
Blows!
Wind Eater!
Lightning strike!
Ice! Risen! Downfall! Another
Fine!
Back into the fray!
Dragon Swarm!
Wind!
Wind!
Astral Energy!
Hurricane Thrust!
Annihilation!
Rising
Lunar
Falcon!
Corruption!
Thunder touch!
Thunder! Steel! Spread!
Dragon Swarm!
Light Astral Energy!
Take this!
Here, let me have it! If it's in me, do it! Sion! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Prepare to be sealed!
Here come more!
We'll just have to keep fighting. The enemy wields art too.
You'll soon see about that!
Burning strike!
Glacial Spear!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Hurricane strike!
A banana! Let's go!
Finish it!
Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! They're attacking from behind! They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Manuel.
I'm not scared! I'm totally fine!
Far enough!
Mirage!
I never miss!
Turbo Flame!
Raging Hurricane! Close one! Photon Blast!
Going in! No! Don't leave me all alone here. Guess I had to use it
Take this!
sometime. Hurricane strike!
Rising Falcon!
Lightning strike!
Wind!
Here's a healing
I'm not done!
I think the enemy's getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't tip your hand, though.
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was easy.
No, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Sion actually look flustered.
Aw, too shy to come over. Water, here! Anything in armor is all mine. Water, here my couple.
Here we go! Come on! I'm on a roll!
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Tidal wave! Back in the way!
Not
Air
done yet.
thrust! Will this help? Healing circle! What would I do without you? First aid!
Reinforcements incoming.
Not a problem!
No further!
The water of
Flame.
creation!
Got you.
Demon Time!
Create immortal conflict! Glacial Spear! And here's the evil!
Glacial fire. No more playing nice.
Lunar Corruption!
Burn in hell!
Inferno crossing.
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Lightning Orb!
Double Demon Fang!
Where are you going? Do it.
Here I come!
Demons descend. Flashing fang. Ready and rarely. I'll smash you.
Take it! Take it!
Far enough.
Don't mind if I do!
Dragon
Flaming
Swarm!
meteor.
Covering wind!
Inferno
You picked the
crossing.
wrong fight!
Stardust.
Here, let me
Rising
have
Falcon!
that!
You're mine!
Who would illuminate the dark? Blah, blah, blah,
Strike!
magic!
On guard.
Holy
Dragon
land!
Swarm!
Now this one's mine!
Severing wind!
I never miss. Make your party
Frozen!
hammer.
Nicely done! Here's a healing
All
orb.
thanks to you. Inferno crossing.
First aid! Water of creation!
I may have bit off more than I could chew.
Tiger Blade!
Will this help?
Inferno crossing!
Healing circle!
Water, hear my call! What the?
Here comes! Raging Cascade! Spread!
Make it rain!
Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Sinister!
I hope this medicine works.
Illuminate the dark!
Be still! Burn!
Raging Healing circle!
Nothing gets by me!
Water, hear my call!
You're mine! Severing blade! Mirage!
Ready and ready!
Hold on to your art! Here I come!
Rising
Spread!
Falcon! In a bind?
Holy Land!
Eternal
Light
devastation!
Astral
This one's mine!
Here's a healing art!
Blaze on fire!
There you go! Don't let
Mine!
Take this! Rising!
It's mine! I'll
The
heal
waters
bronze
of
and red!
creation. Where are you going?
Don't mind if I do!
This one's all gets too much!
Hear my call! Spread!
Demon
Water!
Blade!
Hear my call!
Ready and ready!
Here! Lunar Collapse!
I can carve through all!
My head's spinning just watching you!
Spread!
Demon Blade!
No! Illuminate the
Can't
dark!
end here!
Come forth! Holy Land!
Water, hear my call!
Spread! Take it! Raging Storm! Spread!
This should do it! Demon Fang! In a bind? Double Demon
Lunar
Fang!
Corruption!
Make it
Raging
rain!
Storm!
Make it rain!
Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go!
I'll bring you back from death's
handle
abyss!
Resuscitation! It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
A new...
It's go time!
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do. Just please stay safe.
Resuscitation!
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alpha!
Watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down! Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your... aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
Hey, is that it over there?
Did we really just spend that much? Much money?
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but... I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the
3 centuries later, and it's no worse for wear.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history.
Right.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait?
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the...
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back? We should prepare ourselves for every possible...
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever...
That's right. If we can take it back... Shion? Huh?
Where? Shion? Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own? Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shionne. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to...
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens...
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned To find the Renis Alma on your own, and sacrifice yourself to stop the Thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much. When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Dahnans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alphen?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alphen.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard,
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much. I thought she was keeping her. I just figured, but it turned out to be none of that.
I know.
She was so
I'm
You.
Yeah, I do. You were a good...
Yeah, when you. But over time, No, I mean, I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be.
Rinwell. Hey, you...
I seem to cause nothing but as much as I try to look like I have things under control. Everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword. And... But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling... It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then, I realized... Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people, so I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Dahnans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may...
Everyone well? Rested? Then let's go.
Huh? What?
Thanks for waiting. Eat as... Well, how's it taste?
The meat is just the right texture and firmness. You can easily taste all of the ingredients that went into it.
I'm impressed you can cut up such a huge fish.
The basic procedure doesn't really change whether a fish is big or small. All it takes is practice.
Still, I feel a little bad eating this fish. It's supposed to be a pretty rare species, isn't it?
I'm the type who fishes for food first and foremost. Once I catch something, I cook it up with care so it doesn't go to waste. Don't worry, I took an imprint of it for posterity before I turned it into steak.
The meat is so thick. It almost reminds me a little of beef.
What's the difference? Isn't it all meat at the end of the day, regardless of where it comes from?
Says the guy who always complains about it not being red meat whenever we have fish.
Look, as long as it tastes good, I don't care what it is.
Even vegetables?
I'm talking about meat!
It looks thick because that's how big the fish was. There's still plenty to go around, so
Sure, I'll take another.
Better grab it while you can, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Time to work off that last meal. Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the...
Law, don't say that. You're going...
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name.
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should...
Fall Knights. It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the...
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally... And then, we need to figure out the... All right?
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living...
From up here, all the struggles we've been through...
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into... Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Dahnans feel pretty small.
How much longer until we reach...
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving us. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dahna.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain. Like some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, vision. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion, that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to
I'm sorry. I didn't mean...
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? What?
That's exactly... Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? It's that logic that's used to justify... This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. If we're doing this to protect...
A world free...
Not just me. Or if we're going to win. Now I see it.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end.
You bet we can pull it off.
Yeah, we can...
Something...
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to come back and speak to me when you finish looking around.
You okay?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looked...
It's a healing pod. It fixed...
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely... Alphen?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. Naori...
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? Would that mean...
Yes. It sounds crazy, I know. But...
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not...
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left...
Of course.
Even in that time, I'll always remember him. The world's bigger than just men and sea. If I've learned... And the one...
Well, we're not out of the...
I know.
Sorry.
Probably...
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all...
Hey, I just think it's, you know...
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan.
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so...
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon...
Before we do that, just what exact...
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing...
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the...
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis is... Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral art...
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's space. As a result, family lines that
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need...
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society. No, it's fine.
Jeez, give back.
Wait a second. Are you?
I am not.
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary, as if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of...
So this Red Woman, are we expecting...
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in... Chances are...
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got to...
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bump.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion...
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the Crown comes.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your...
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this... And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too.
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That's
forbidden?
I don't know, hence my... In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an...
And you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time. Possibly hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of...
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to...
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say...
Shion's right. Who knows?
All right. It's not like we're... Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. A capital city where Shion and...
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is...
For such a loudmouth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Would you two children stop squabbling?
So how many Renans actually live in the...
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic function.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't...
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the Wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk...
While we're at it, we can ask them about the red...
And don't forget about finding the way to the...
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch...
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. You don't have time to...
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed... But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration.
Ordinarily, yes. You trust me. As far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so...
Sorry. That probably...
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure...
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have... Whatever did we do?
You really have no clue what might have caused it?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed we have no... But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a...
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected... The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for...
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship! Oh, what a great honor it is to find... I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red.
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone.
Yeah. What about...
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise.
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry. Is everything okay? You look a little...
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my...
I was hoping to head this way myself.
I suppose I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll...
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown...
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be... I thought maybe it was a passageway between...
It's worth investigating. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime...
You'd really do that for me?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it?
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah. That one guy even said Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true...
Everything that happens here, nothing happens devoid of a reason.
The Sovereign... There is one thing I'm still not sure about.
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over.
The points you make are valid. Come to think of it. Shion, have you ever been...
No.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that...
Hold up.
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the...
But what about trade and communication? There's got...
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan rule.
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point...
3 centuries ago, 300 years later, we crossed paths with Volron, who... That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became sovereign.
Do you think Volron was made sovereign for the same reason?
I can't say for sure.
But that would mean we never is a new...
Wait a second. The ceremony can't go...
There's something...
Questions, and yet...
If the Forbidden Zone really...
Then it's decided.
One of the citizens mentioned a pact. Let's go find it!
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld.
But Dohalim...
Only current acting lords have...
Even if the other lords were still around...
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Cannibal... Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to...
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city...
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here
Yeah.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been.
Unquestioning acceptance.
Even so, I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth.
More to the point.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking...
It's still too...
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed.
Tell me, Dohalim, Has that...
And what skill would this be,
You know, when you're talking to people or...
I'm afraid I don't...
I do. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation?
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn...
Now you've got me curious. Is there special...
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just...
What? They look up to you.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird...
I hope you're willing to take the blame for the...
I wasn't expecting...
Yes! Yes!
Volstagg had it in him to care about someone... other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them, too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
What?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Pardon me.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay. Ah!
Seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Gannett Harros changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and...
Renans live in a world where strength and but their loyalty to their people is also strong.
That's what makes them the guardians of all...
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Ren.
Guess that makes you an...
So, Alphen, have you gained anything?
Yeah. Balsif and the others? They all had their own circumstances to deal with.
Yeah, but...
I know. But at the same time, they weren't in... So I guess...
You're saying even if they did terrible...
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Dahnan doesn't make you a good person. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shionne and...
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current Sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes...
So, who was it then?
Hanfrikt Milgras, the former Lord of Cyslodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfrikt whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming Sovereign, he's never actually shown him?
I guess over Holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, Sovereign or...
And that never...
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question...
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created. In other words, if that's
true, but if even the victor's speeches have been part...
You and me both. Though we are Renan by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master...
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us...
No use standing around...
Doe?
Faria.
Faria? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling... Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord.
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan, but let me tell you...
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim! What the hell?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had...
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts.
Before, back in Menin...
The mistakes I made there were not my first.
Did you mean what you...
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does. Forgive me.